I walked into that engagement party thinking I was about to celebrate my best friend's happiest moment. Instead, I found out she'd been celebrating behind my back with my boyfriend. In front of an entire crowd, I got served the betrayal of a lifetime, complete with gaslighting, crocodile tears, and a standing ovation for their true love. But guess what? They weren't ready for what came next. I used to think I was the main character of my own life, but nothing prepares you for the moment you realize you've actually been playing the fool. And let me tell you, there's nothing quite like finding out your boyfriend has been cheating on you in front of 100 people wearing cocktail dresses and fake smiles. Let's back up. My name's Olivia, 26, digital marketing strategist, hopeless romantic with a crippling addiction to overpriced lattes and emotionally unavailable men. Up until the incident, I was dating Ethan 6'1" finance bro, the kind of guy who'd rather lose a kidney than admit he actually liked rom-coms. We'd been together for 3 years, 3 solid, seemingly stable years. And my best friend, that was Madison. Madison and I had been inseparable since college ride or die, tell each other everything, finish each other's sentences, kind of best friends. So naturally, when she announced she was getting engaged, I was over the moon. Her fiancé, Ryan, was a good guy, and I had spent weeks helping her plan her dream engagement party. I even designed the freaking invitations. That night, I showed up in a sleek emerald green dress because looking hot is a universal coping mechanism for being single at weddings and engagement parties. The venue was this gorgeous rooftop bar downtown, all twinkling fairy lights and soft jazz. It was supposed to be a celebration. Instead, it became a funeral for the last shred of trust I had in humanity. About halfway through the night, the DJ cut the music, and everyone gathered around for some super romantic speech Madison and Ryan had planned. I was smiling, wine glass in hand, heart full, because despite all the cynicism, I believed in love. And then Madison grabbed the mic, took a deep breath, and said something that made my entire world shatter. Before we get into speeches, I just want to thank someone really special, someone who's been there for me through everything. Someone who showed me what true love really looks like. Ethan, baby. Stand up. My brain short-circuited. I must have misheard. I had to have misheard. But nope, Ethan stood. My Ethan. Standing there, looking awkward but not surprised. I laughed. Actually laughed. A dry, humorless laugh that came out like I had something stuck in my throat. My best friend. My boyfriend. And a room full of people watching as my entire reality collapsed in on itself like a dying star. Ryan looked as confused as I felt. What? Madison turned to me, beaming, like she was about to tell me I'd won the lottery, like this wasn't a public execution. Liv, I know this is a shock, but Ethan, it just happened. We didn't plan it, but you can't fight fate, right? Fate? Fate. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. My vision blurred, my ears rang. It was like my body was rejecting reality. Ethan wasn't even looking at me, he was just standing there, jaw clenched, like a kid caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Say something, Madison urged, her voice all wide-eyed innocence, like she was the one who deserved sympathy. Oh, I was gonna say something, all right. I set my wine glass down slowly, methodically, because the only thing stopping me from throwing it in someone's face was the fact that it was a damn good vintage. Then I smiled. Wow, I exhaled, nodding. You guys really had me there for a second. I almost thought you were serious. Madison blinked. Liv, no, I cut her off. I mean, what are the odds, right? My best friend and my boyfriend, just happening to fall in love. I turned to Ethan, and I swear to God, my voice dripped venom. You know, babe, all this time I thought you just sucked at communicating. Turns out, you just preferred whispering sweet nothings to my best friend instead. The crowd murmured. Ryan still looked like someone had hit him over the head with a frying pan. Ethan finally spoke, his voice low. Liv, I didn't want it to happen this way. I held up a hand. Spare me. I don't need your Bachelor in Paradise monologue. Madison had the audacity to look hurt. Hurt. As if she wasn't the one who had just ripped my heart out in 4K Ultra HD. I could have screamed. I could have cried. But standing there, in that sea of expensive dresses and judgmental stares, I decided something. I was not going to break. Instead, I turned to Ryan. So, Ryan, you still feeling engaged, or are we both getting out of here? His face went through all 5 stages of grief in real time. Then, something in his expression hardened. Yeah, he said, voice clipped. Let's go. And with that, we walked the hell out of there. But trust methods wasn't over. Leaving that engagement party felt like stepping out of a burning building, except I wasn't sure if I was the survivor or just another casualty. Ryan and I didn't talk as we walked down the street, the night air thick with everything we weren't saying. My heels clicked against the pavement, my hands clenched into fists. I could still hear the whispers from the party, the fake concern, the muffled gasps. Humiliation had its own echo, and it was following me. Ryan finally broke the silence. So, wanna go get wrecked? I huffed out a laugh. Absolutely. And that's how I ended up in some dimly lit bar, halfway through my 3rd tequila shot, trying to bleach the memory of Ethan and Madison out of my brain. Ryan was across from me, swirling his whiskey like some tragic movie protagonist. He looked pistless, like a guy who'd just been cheated on, and more like someone plotting a hostile corporate takeover. Do you think they planned this? I asked, words slurring just a little. Like, was there a strategy meeting? A betrayal PowerPoint? Ryan snorted. Probably had a Google Doc. I shook my head, still in disbelief. I mean, what the actual hell? Who does that? And God, she actually expected me to be happy for her. Like, surprise, Liv, I stole your man. But don't be mad, it's true love. Ryan's jaw tightened. And Ethan just stood there, like a coward. That sobered me up a little, because yeah, that was the part that stung the most. Not just that he cheated, but that he didn't even have the decency to own it. Ryan exhaled, leaning back in his chair. So? What now? I stared at my drink. I have no idea, because really, what was the next move? I'd spent 3 years with Ethan. 3 years thinking we were building a future. Madison had been my person for even longer. Now it felt like someone had erased my life's blueprint and handed me a blank page. Ryan drummed his fingers on the table. You know, we could burn their lives to the ground. I snorted. Tempting. I mean it. His expression was sharp now, the fire in his eyes unmistakable. They did this in public. They wanted an audience, so let's give them one. I frowned. What are you suggesting? Ryan leaned in, voice low. They wanted a spectacle? Let's make it a show. A thrill shot through meso mix of adrenaline, tequila, and pure, unfiltered rage. Because yeah, Madison and Ethan had already taken everything from me. The least I could do? Take my power back. The next morning, I woke up to the world's worst hangover and a text from Ryan that simply read, "Game on." I groaned, rolling over in bed, my mouth drier than the Sahara. The events of last night crashed into me like a damn freight train, the party, the betrayal, the tequila-fueled plotting session. And now, apparently, Ryan was actually serious about his revenge plan. I dragged myself to the bathroom, splashed cold water on my face, and stared at my reflection. My mascara was smudged, my hair was a mess, but my eyes were sharp, focused. Because beneath all the hurt and humiliation, something else was burning inside me. Something dangerous. I wasn't just going to sit back and cry about this. I grabbed my phone and texted Ryan back. Tell me everything. 30 minutes later, we were sitting across from each other at a greasy brunch spot, both nursing black coffee like it was liquid salvation. Ryan looked surprisingly put together for someone who had also drowned his sorrows in alcohol last night. Me? Not so much. So I said, voice still scratchy. You really want to go nuclear on him? Ryan smirked. Oh, Liv. We're past nuclear. We're going full-on scorched earth. I raised an eyebrow. And how exactly do you propose we do that? Ryan leaned forward. First things first, we control the narrative. I frowned. What do you mean? He pulled out his phone and opened Instagram. Madison and Ethan humiliated us publicly. They let the world see us as pathetic, heartbroken idiots. We changed that. I stared at him. Okay, and how do we do that? Ryan smirked. Simple. We make them think we're totally fine. Actually, scratch that. We make them think we're thriving. I blinked. You want us to fake happiness? Not just happiness. We're going to make them think we're having the time of our lives, and not just separately. He paused for effect. Together. I nearly choked on my coffee. Hold on. Are you saying we pretend to date? Ryan's smirk widened. Oh, I don't know. Would it kill Ethan and Madison to see us moving on with each other? I stared at him, my brain running 1,000,000 miles a minute. On paper, it was insane. But also, it was genius. Fine, I said slowly, a slow grin creeping up my face. Let's do it. Ryan clinked his coffee cup against mine. Let the games begin. If Madison and Ethan wanted attention, we were about to give it to them. Ryan and I spent the next few days executing the perfect revenge campaign. It started small. Instagram stories of us hanging out, laughing over drinks, a candid shot of me casually wearing his jacket, just enough to make people wonder. And then we escalated. Ryan took me to a high-end rooftop bar one night where we just so happened to run into some of Madison's mutual friends. We made sure to look cozy, him whispering in my ear, me laughing just a little too hard at his jokes. By the next morning, our budding romance was the hottest gossip in our social circle. Then came the piece de resistance. Ryan posted a picture of us at dinner, a candlelit table between us, my hand resting on his. No caption, just vibes. And it worked. The fallout was instant. That same night, I got a text from Madison. Madison, hey, what's going on between you and Ryan? I stared at my screen, my heart pounding. I could practically hear the panic in her voice. I took a sip of wine, then typed back, "Me oh Mads, crazy night, huh?" Ryan and I just realized we have so much in common. Life's funny like that. I hit send and sat back, grinning. Madison and Ethan weren't ready for what was coming next. The moment I hit send on that text, I knew I had officially entered villain mode. And you know what? It felt amazing. Madison took the bait instantly. 3 dots popped up, disappeared, then popped up again. She was typing and retyping like she was having a full-blown existential crisis. Finally, her message came through. Madison, wait. So, are you guys serious? I just didn't think he was your type? I smirked. Ah, the classic insecure ex-best friend move. She was trying to play it cool, but I knew exactly what was going through her head. I didn't respond right away. Let her sweat. Meanwhile, Ryan texted me. Ryan, Madison just called me. She sounded pissed. Ryan, should I answer or leave her on read? I grinned. He was starting to get into it. Me, read. Always read. He sent back a thumbs up, and just like that, we were in their heads. If Madison and Ethan thought a couple of Instagram posts were bad, they were in for a hell of a week. Ryan and I turned our fake dating saga into a full-blown performance. We hit up every bar, every restaurant, and every event where we knew we'd run into people from our social circle. We made sure we always looked like we were having the best time, laughing, whispering in each other's ears, making it look effortless. I even let Ryan put his hand on my lower back a few times. For realism, obviously. And the best part? Ethan was cracking. He wasn't as smooth as Madison. He wasn't playing it cool. No, he was losing it in real time. I found out through a mutual friend that Ethan had asked about me at the gym. Is Olivia really with Ryan? Like, actually? That's weird, right? Oh, baby. That's not the voice of a man in love with his new girlfriend. That's the voice of a man realizing he fecked up. Madison, on the other hand, she was still trying to keep up the mock, unbothered act, but the cracks were showing. She texted me again 2 days later. Madison, hey, can we talk? I feel like this is all getting a little messy. Oh, you feel like this is messy? You mean like announcing your affair at your engagement party? I rolled my eyes. Me? Messy? What do you mean? Madison, I just don't want there to be bad blood. You know? Oh, sweetie, there already was. I left her on red. Everything was going perfectly until Ryan threw a curveball I didn't see coming. We were at a new cocktail bar, our latest photo op location, when he leaned in and whispered, So, you know this was supposed to be fake, right? I raised an eyebrow. Yeah, he hesitated, then scratched the back of his neck. Cool. Just wanted to be sure. Weird energy, but I brushed it off. I was too focused on the mission to care. Then that night, I got a message that made my blood run ice cold. Ethan, we need to talk. I stared at my phone like it had just burst into flames. Ethan, my ex, the guy who publicly humiliated me, texting me? Nah, absolutely not. Ryan, who had been scrolling through his own phone across the table, noticed my expression. What's wrong? I slid my phone across to him. He read the message, eyebrows raising. Then, ever so calmly, he picked up my glass of wine and took a sip. Well, he muttered. If it isn't the consequences of his own actions. I snorted, but inside, my stomach was twisting. This wasn't part of the plan. Ethan was supposed to stew in silence, watching my relationship with Ryan from the sidelines, regretting every decision he ever made. So why the hell was he reaching out now? Ryan leaned back in his seat, still holding my phone. Are you going to answer? I thought about it, for about 2 seconds. Then I snatched my phone back. Me. Talk about what? I wasn't about to make this easy for him. The response came instantly, like he had been waiting. Ethan, not over text. Can we meet? Oh, he was bold. Ryan saw my face and smirked. Let me guess, he wants a dramatic one-on-one? I sighed. Yup. Ryan's smirk widened. Do it. I blinked. Wait, what? Meet him, he said, leaning in. See what he has to say. And then wreck him. I exhaled. It was tempting. So tempting. But there was still one problem. What if I actually do want to know what he has to say? I muttered before I could stop myself. Ryan's expression flickered, just for a second. Then casually he asked, Do you? I didn't answer. And that silence? It said everything. The next evening, I found myself sitting in a dimly lit cafe waiting for the man who ruined my life. Ethan walked in looking different. Not the smug, put-together guy I had known. He looked like he hadn't slept. His hair was messy, his shirt slightly wrinkled. Good. Suffer. He slid into the seat across from me. Hey, I crossed my arms. Get to the point. Ethan sighed, rubbing his face. I know I messed up, Liv. I let out a humorless laugh. Wow. Genius-level analysis, Ethan. Thanks for coming. He flinched, but pressed on. I didn't mean for any of this to happen like this, and I don't expect you to forgive me, but I just need you to know that it wasn't worth. He hesitated. It wasn't what you think. I narrowed my eyes. Oh, so you didn't sleep with my best friend behind my back? Ethan exhaled. Okay. Yeah, I did. But it wasn't like we planned it, Liv. It was a mistake that I held up a hand. Nope. Stop. I swear to God, if you say it just happened, I will throw my coffee at you. Ethan shut his mouth. Look, he tried again. I messed up. I miss you, okay? And I can't stop thinking about us. The audacity. I stared at him, processing his words. Then, ever so slowly, I leaned forward. Ethan, he swallowed. Yeah? I smiled, a slow, cruel smile. You had me for 3 years, and you threw me away like I was nothing. And now you're realizing that Madison isn't me, that she never will be, that you gave up something real for a cheap, temporary thrill. Ethan's jaw clenched, but he didn't deny it. I stood, grabbing my purse. I don't need your regrets, Ethan. I need you to live with your mistakes. And with that, I walked away. I didn't look back. But if I had, I would have seen Ethan's entire world crumbling. And damn, it felt good. The moment I stepped out of that cafe, I felt lighter, like I had been carrying the weight of Ethan's betrayal on my shoulders. And now I had finally dropped it. I wasn't naive. I knew he wasn't done. Men like Ethan don't like losing. But I didn't care, because this time, I wasn't playing his game. I walked straight to Ryan's place. When he opened the door, he took one look at me and said, You did it, didn't you? I smirked. Oh, I did more than that. I crushed his soul. Ryan stepped aside, letting me in. Tell me everything. I recapped the entire conversation, Ethan's excuses, his desperate I miss you, the way he completely fell apart when he realized I wasn't coming back. Ryan listened, arms crossed, an unreadable expression on his face. And when I finished, instead of looking smug like I expected, he looked tense. I frowned. What's wrong? Ryan hesitated. Then, with a sigh, he said, "He's not gonna let this go." I rolled my eyes. "I don't care. Let him cry about it." Ryan ran a hand through his hair. "No, Liv, you don't get it. Guys like Ethan, they don't just cry about it, they get vindictive." I frowned. "You really think he's that petty?" Ryan gave me a look. He dumped you in front of 100 people, publicly humiliated you, and only now decided he misses you, coincidentally after seeing you move on with me. Yeah, I think he's that petty. I hated that he had a point. Before I could respond, my phone vibrated. A new notification. I glanced down and froze. Ryan saw my face. What? What happened? I turned my phone around to show him. Ethan and Madison just posted a photo together. A selfie, smiling, arms wrapped around each other. And the caption? Happy. Finally, Ryan's face darkened. Oh, hell no. I let out a slow breath. So this is how we're playing it now? Ryan leaned back, cracking his knuckles. All right, time for phase 4. I raised an eyebrow. Which is? Ryan grinned. We end them. If Ethan and Madison wanted to pretend they were happy, fine, let's see how long that lasts. Ryan and I didn't hold back anymore. We went full power couple mode, posting pictures that were just suggestive enough to make people talk. A candid shot of me laughing with Ryan's arm casually around my waist. A boomerang of us clinking glasses at a high-end restaurant. A short video of me in Ryan's oversized hoodie, captioned stolen but never giving it back. By the end of the week, our relationship was the hottest rumor in our entire social circle. And then, we dropped the final bomb. Ryan posted a picture of us holding hands. No caption, no context, just vibes. And guess who completely lost their shit? Madison. Madison called me, twice. I ignored both. Then came the text. Madison, okay, seriously? Are you and Ryan actually together, or is this some kind of joke? I smiled at my screen. Bingo. Me, why do you care? Madison, because it's weird. You two barely even liked each other before, and now you're suddenly all over him? Me, yeah. Funny how that works. People surprise you. She took a minute to respond. Then Madison. This is messed up, Liv. I tilted my head. Oh, the hypocrisy. Me, you're right. Cheating on your best friend and announcing it at your own engagement party is messed up. Glad we're on the same page. She left me on rid. For the first time in weeks, I felt like I had won. That night, Ryan and I celebrated our victory with pizza and wine at his apartment. To us, I said, raising my glass. Ryan chuckled, clinking his against mine. To faking the most convincing relationship of all time. I laughed. Honestly, we should win an award. Ryan smirked. Yeah? You think we're that convincing? I took a sip of my wine. Oh, absolutely. He was quiet for a second. Then, what if we weren't faking? I nearly choked on my drink. Excuse me? Ryan shrugged, suddenly not looking like the cocky, confident guy I was used to. I mean, I don't know. We've been spending all this time together, and it's been... He exhaled. It's been good. I blinked. This was not in the script. Ryan met my gaze, serious now. What if this isn't just about getting revenge anymore? I swallowed hard, because for the first time I wasn't sure I wanted it to be. I stared at Ryan, my heart slamming against my ribs. What do you mean not faking? My voice came out quieter than I wanted. Ryan sighed, rubbing his jaw. I mean, what if we stopped pretending? What if we actually gave this a shot? I opened my mouth, then closed it. This wasn't part of the plan. We were supposed to make Madison and Ethan suffer, not catch feelings. This was just revenge, I said carefully, watching his face. Ryan exhaled a laugh, but there was no humor in it. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But then we started spending all this time together, and I don't know, Liv, it doesn't feel fake anymore. I was suddenly hyper-aware of everything, the way he was looking at me, the warmth in his eyes, the way my stomach flipped at the idea that maybe, just maybe, this wasn't just a game anymore. But it couldn't be real. Could it? I forced a smirk, trying to regain some control. Ryan, are you catching feelings? His jaw clenched. Would that be so bad? I didn't know how to answer that, because part of me wanted to say yes, but the other part, the part that'd been burned, humiliated, and betrayed, it was screaming at me to run. So I did what I always did when things got too real. I laughed it off. Ryan, come on, I said, rolling my eyes. We're just having fun. You don't actually want to date me. His face hardened, the light in his eyes dimming. Right, just fun. He didn't argue. He didn't push. But the way he looked at me, like I had just thrown away something important, it left a hollow feeling in my chest. The next morning, I woke up to a disaster in my DMs. Madison had officially lost it. I had 4 missed calls, 2 voice messages I refused to listen to, and a string of texts that looked like someone having a full-blown breakdown in real time. Madison, Olivia, this is getting out of control. Madison, are you serious about Ryan? Like, actually serious? Madison, why are you doing this? Madison, I miss you. I nearly threw my phone across the room. She missed me? She missed me? I was about to text back something snarky, but then I stopped. No, I had a better idea. I clicked on her Instagram profile. She was live. Oh, this was too easy. I opened the stream. Madison was sitting on her couch, looking miserable, wrapped in a blanket like some kind of tragic heroine. People were spamming the comments. Are you and Ryan still engaged? Did Olivia really steal your man? Girl, spill the tea. Madison sniffled. I don't understand how Olivia could do this to me. Oh, hell no. grabbed my phone and texted Ryan, "Me check Madison's live right now." 2 seconds later, he replied, "Ryan, this bitch is insane." I grinned. Time for the kill shot. I took a screenshot of her looking particularly pathetic, then posted it to my story with a simple caption. Imagine cheating on your best friend and then playing the victim. Couldn't be me. And just like that, I broke Madison